Okay,
It's a modification that he's been
You
laid off
started it.
and they're not agreeing on an amount.
I started recording. I'm recording on the cloud, and this is on the Walker County docket on the date of February 15th, 2023, the Glaze and Johnson matter. Both parties not served but are present by video, Zoom, and they're going to waive their rights to everything when we get to it. Actually, it's cause number 14605 on the Walker County docket. Parties and witnesses thereto, please raise your right hands and be sworn. Swear testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, so help you God. Thank you. You can put your hands down now. Parties are sworn, and we are recording. And I take it you may proceed.
Yes, and Ms. Gonzalez is here now, so I will call her first. Ms. Gonzalez, can you state your name for the record?
Kimberly Gonzalez.
How are you employed?
I'm a child support officer with the Attorney General's office.
Is it part of your job to look at income information for parties?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Did you do that in this case?
Yes, I did.
Were you able to find anything on Mr. Brandon Glaze?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What did you find?
Based on the information I have, Mr. Glaze is currently receiving unemployment benefits in the amount of $1,944 monthly gross.
Okay. Was he laid off from his last job?
Yes, ma'am. I have information that he was laid off on January the 15th, 2023.
All right. Thank you very much. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Should she be excused, Judge?
Any further questions of Ms. Gonzalez by the parties? No questions being announced. She'll be excused. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Judge, at this time, I would call Brandon Glaze.
Proceed.
Mr. Glaze, can you turn your camera on?
How you turn it on?
It should be, it looks like it says video, or it looks like a little video camera, and it will have a red line through it. And if you hit it, it will turn on.
I don't see that.
If you tap your screen, there should be things on the bottom.
It's a video filter, avatar, background.
The video,
Edit.
say stop video or start video.
No.
Okay, we'll move forward without it. All right. Mr. Glaze, can you state your name for the record?
Brandon Glaze.
And are you the father of Camilla Danielle Glaze?
Kamaya, yes, ma'am.
Kamaya, sorry. And you're currently ordered to pay child support of $176 per month? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you're currently ordered to pay medical support of $18 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently working?
No, ma'am.
Are you getting unemployment?
Yes, ma'am.
And you heard Ms. Gonzalez testify that you're getting $1,944 a month in unemployment. Is that correct?
I think that's how much it's supposed to be. I just started, so I don't know how much exactly I get a month. I know how much I get a week.
How much do you get a week?
480. I think it's 86.
Okay. All right. So based on that, your unemployment income, your child support would be $230 a month. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And then $25 for the health insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have 4 other children?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they all younger than this child?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently looking for work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you
do? I can do anything.
What was your
But I'm
last
looking.
job?
It was at a piping company, like oil field piping company.
Why did you get laid off?
We were slow. Well, that's what they told me. We were slow.
Are you looking for more work in that field?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any interviews or job offers?
No, ma'am.
All right, so do you think you'll be starting work again soon, or is it going to take a while?
I hope it's soon.
Where have you applied at?
I applied at a company in Conroe called UTEC, and then I applied at NOV in Navasota. And then I applied at United Machines in New Waverly.
All right, have you heard back from anywhere yet?
No, ma'am.
All right, are you okay if we do a temporary order at 2:30 based on your unemployment, and then we come back in a few months to see if you have another job?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you want to let the judge know?
No, ma'am.
All right, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Very good.
I call Whitney Johnson. Miss Johnson,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
state your name for the record?
Whitney Johnson.
And you're the mother of Kamaya Glaze?
Yes, ma'am.
You heard his testimony that he has been laid off and is getting unemployment. Do you have anything to dispute that?
I mean, my only dispute is, I mean, I get it, it's life and things happen, but the amount that they're asking him to pay today, it's no different than what's being required for him to pay like before now. And I just feel like it's just not an adequate amount, because if the way that I look at it is, if I was to match what he's being asked to pay, that'll equal up to $460. And personally, that wouldn't take care of a kid. And I just feel like there's other means, there's ways, like, because if I come up short, I still have to find a way. I mean, I'm her mom. I have custody of her and everything. So it's like, I have no excuse. I have no outs. I have to figure it out. And it's not about the money, but like, without having like the means to do anything, it's like, I feel like I'm holding her back to like where she can't do, like, experience things in life, not just like going to do stuff. I mean, like, sports wise and everything, because she's a preteen. She just turned 12. She's about to start puberty and just different things. She grows in size and everything. And it's just, I mean, it's life. But when life doesn't go my way, I still have to figure it out. And I just feel like the $230 is not an adequate amount to pay. I mean, seeing that he's been required to pay that since he was placed on child support.
Do you have any information that he's working or doing anything else other than what he's saying?
I don't talk to him outside of court.
What
We have
number?
no
I
communication.
mean, what do you think would be a fair amount for the child support? What are you asking for?
Well, the last amount that when we had the meeting, which required us to have the court date because he didn't agree with it, was $439. And to me, that would have sufficed something.
So that was
That
when
would
he
have
was,
been,
when he was
that was-
working at the job he had, that was what we been calculated at.
yes, that was what we calculated at, but he wasn't even wanting to pay that because he says that he feel like about $300 is enough to pay, and which is why we're here today, because he felt like $439 was too much.
Is there anything else you want to let the judge know?
No, not that I can think of. I mean, in our last meeting, he stated that
Objection, Your Honor, I don't think
Go ahead and
negotiation.
let her talk. I can exclude evidence.
Okay.
It's not admissible.
he had stated that he was like, well, what do I need to do because I don't allow him to get her. And it's not the fact that I don't allow him to get her. You have to try first. And I will admit, we haven't been doing the weekends that he's supposed to get her, but it's been years since we went to court. He hasn't, he's tried like a couple of times, but if I have plans for her, I'm not gonna cancel like her being able to do something so she can go with him. Like, and then she does AAU volleyball right now, and the season doesn't end until May. And I just feel like he's not gonna make sure that she gets to her games because none of her games are local. So we're traveling every other Saturday. And then when we're in public, like we live in the same town, when we're in public and in the same place, he doesn't even acknowledge her. He doesn't speak or anything. So, everything plays a part in it.
All right. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you know of any source of income Mr. Glaze has that would be available for paid child support?
No, like I said, I don't communicate with him. I don't know how he gets his money. I don't know anything. The only time I find out about the jobs that he have is when I receive a payment. And I don't know about the job. It's just like, it lets me know that he's working.
Do you know anything about his family?
I don't really communicate with them either. They don't reach out to my kid really unless it's her birthday or Christmas. So.
Okay. And Ms. Khan, is that the calculated amount based on the guidelines?
Yes, Judge, based on his unemployment income, it would be $230 a month.
So that's the guidelines set up by the Texas Supreme Court that we have to follow. Correct?
Okay.
As state employees. I'm saying that, so that's the situation that the court's in, Ms. Johnson. I'd like to help you as the mother of the child, but if you don't know of any source of income that he have available, like jobs on the side, that you know about, then I don't have any source of income to allocate to go to you to child support under the law that the Texas Supreme Court has set for me to follow. So that'll be my
that's true. Yeah, I understand that. I'm sure that, we all, not all, but we do odd and end jobs here and there. And he used to rope or whatever, but I just don't have proof of anything. And I'm not pushing the issue about it. So, if the 230 if it's going to be temporary, then I'd be okay with that. But I definitely wouldn't want it to be something permanent.
Right. And I hope you get one of these jobs with the oil field picking up and pipelining work that pays really well. And, so thank you very much, ma'am, for helping us. And thank you, Mr. Glaze.
All right, Judge, do you want to do it as a temporary order?
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, since he's on unemployment, it would be better to wait and see if he gets a job.
Yes.
I would think, do you want to come back, give him until May May 17th?
Is that 6 months?
It's well,
That's 3 months.
3
That's
months
exactly.
out. Do you want to, I got June 21st is the latest one I have. I can look up
Okay.
later.
Mr. Glaze, June 21st, all right with you?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll come
Hope
back.
you can get a good job by then, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
And the $25 for medical support, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Johnson and Mr. Glaze, if y'all can go back to the breakout room, we'll get the order ready for you. You can either it'll look like a window with 4 squares, or it'll say more with 3 dots, and then it'll be a breakout room and it'll take you back.
Okay.
Oh, Ms. Matthews, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Judge Durst, and I'm going to call the case and start recording. Recording started now on the Castillo matter in the Polk County case on the date of February 22nd, 2023, cause number CIV 23-0089. Parties and witnesses thereto, please raise your right hands to be sworn. Ms.
I'm
Gann,
going to swear Ms. Shaw in as well.
I'm trying to. Did she hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yeah. Raise your right hand to be sworn. You swear testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, so help you God. Thank
I
you.
do.
Thank you.
All right. Judge, this started as a child support review order in our office on February 2nd of this year. It appears Ms. Matthews agreed. Mr. Castillo did not. Upon speaking with him a few minutes ago, we've discovered that he doesn't agree with apparently numerous parts of this order. So we're gonna take it from the top, going over what each party has to say. Okay.
Very good. We're on the record. We're making a record, and the testimony will be evidence in the case.
I'm going to speak with Ms. Matthews first. Ma'am, could you state your full name?
Brittany Danielle Matthews.
Okay. And we're here today to talk about your two children. Could you give us their names and ages?
Micah Castillo, he is 5, and Mariah Castillo, who is 3.
And who is their father?
Daniel Castillo.
Okay. Judge would like to offer into evidence acknowledgements of paternity for both children as States Exhibit A and B, signed by Mr. Castillo and Ms. Matthews.
Be admitted evidence.
Okay. Ma'am, who do the children live with the majority of the time?
Me.
Okay. Do you reside in Polk County?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. How often does Mr. Castillo see and visit with the children?
He's been seeing them. He's been picking them up Saturday nights, and he returns them Sunday nights.
Okay. That pretty much every weekend?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and how long is this? Is this their whole lives, or how long has this been going on?
Me and Daniel separated in 2020, the beginning of the year. So, I mean, at first he lived very close, and I allowed, we wanted the transition to be, easier for the children. So he came by when he got off work, and they would stay the night with him every other night at first. And then he moved, and then I had to move. So the only time he can see them is on Saturdays, which kind of makes I can't do anything on the weekends, just, one day trying to plan to go visit family or anything. I need a weekend with the children. And I think that it's appropriate for him to take them for a weekend. So I just want a better structure.
Well, okay, we'll get to that in just a moment. It sounds like he has been very involved their entire life. So would that be correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you and Mr. Castillo able to talk about the children, their needs, and?
Oh yes, yeah. No,
Okay.
I mean, I try to
you can make decisions together for the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So regarding visitation, you were just mentioning, am I hearing that you are wanting, he sees the kids each weekend, but you're wanting maybe a larger chunk of time?
Yeah, I need something a little bit more structured. Maybe every other weekend would be better.
So you're suggesting less often, but more time when it happens. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What form of insurance do Micah and Mariah have insurance?
They are on Medicaid.
Okay. And do you know if Mr. Castillo is employed?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where?
Indian Head Firewood.
Okay. Okay. As far as generally when we talk about child support, we're talking about now going forward in time. There's something called retroactive or back child support that looks back in time. Are you asking for just child support going forward today, or any back support?
Just going forward.
Okay. And that was what was in your proposed order. I just wanted to confirm that
Yeah.
you're not requesting. retroactive support. Does Mr. Castillo have any other children than the two we're talking about right now?
He has an 18-year-old son.
Okay. All right. Do you think that the things you've discussed today are in the best interest of your children?
Absolutely.
I will pass this witness and talk to Mr. Castillo now.
Very good.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? I think you may be on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Okay. Were you able to hear earlier when Miss Matthews and the judge were speaking?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just making sure.
Right.
Talking about your two children here, sounds like you visit with them pretty regularly.
I love them. Of course, I want to see them.
What is your, are you able to communicate with Miss Matthews about the children's needs, medical needs, schooling needs, things like that?
She does, we do communicate, but whenever I've ever asked her about the drive, she could care less. She says that if you don't come all the way, then just don't come at all. And legally, I do have 3 other children through my wife. I'm married now. I have stepchildren, and I do help provide a home for Mike and Mariah and my other kids.
Sir, let me get to that in just a minute. The other kiddos. What county do you live in?
I live in Chambers County.
Okay. About how long of a drive is it from your home to hers, or vice versa?
So to drive there and back, so just to drive there is 1 hour and 43 minutes. That's just one way to get there. And then I have to bring the kids back home, which is a total of 2 hours and 86 minutes, which is 3 hours. 3 hours and 46 minutes round trip, 7 hours total to take them back home and come back home.
Understand. As far as the other children you were mentioning, do you have any other biological or adopted children?
They are my children. Legally, they are my children. No, I do not. I have not adopted anyone other than my stepkids. When you get married to someone and they have kids, legally, you are adopting them.
No, sir,
that's not the
you're
law.
not.
I don't know where you learned that law, but that's not the law.
I'm asking, do you, let's back up. I'm asking, as far as biological children, do you have any other children? Miss Matthews mentioned an 18-year-old son.
That's correct. I do have a son. His name is Jordan.
Is he still in high school?
No, he's finished school.
He has graduated. Okay. And the other children that you're referencing, they are the children of your current wife. Is that correct?
They are my children also. We are married. We are one.
Okay. And you were referencing that because you were married, but you have not done a formal adoption. Just want to be clear. Mr. Castillo.
You want me to say what you want me to say, but the truth is they are my kids.
All right. As far as visitation with Mike and Mariah, did you hear what Miss Matthews said about maybe longer visitation every other weekend?
She wants me to see my kids our kids less, so she can have a weekend to do whatever she wants to do. Every weekend, I'm going to go pick them up too.
What is your preference regarding visitation?
I'm sorry.
Is your preference for visitation what's currently occurring, or something different?
Ma'am, I love my kids. I can't go too long without seeing them. I feel like I am dying. If you love your children, you would feel the same way.
So your preference is what's currently the current schedule y'all are working under?
If we still lived close to each other, I'd be getting them every other day.
Let's see. Do you currently work at Indian Head Firewood?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you have any sort of private insurance available through that employer?
No, it is just a
Okay.
firewood company.
Okay.
We do not have insurance. It is
How
not
long,
a big corporation.
how long have you been working there?
Since 2018, and then also since 2010, part-time on the weekends.
Okay. Are you salaried or paid by the hour?
I am salary.
Okay. What is your salary, sir?
This year, the total was 49.
49,000
Yes,
for the
that's
year?
correct.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And let's see. How long ago did you both live in Polk County when the kids were born or when y'all were together?
We have lived in a town called Spring.
Okay, North Houston area.
Yes, ma'am. That's where we were when we separated.
Okay. And
I
after
gave birth to my son though.
Miss
whenever-
Matthews, I'm sorry. Let me just talk to Mr. Castillo right now. So y'all were in Spring, then you ended your relationship, and then did you move to Chambers County?
Yes, ma'am.
And then she moved to Polk County at some point?
Yes, it's part of her father's property that she was given.
Okay. And that's how y'all have come to live a fair distance apart.
Yeah, it's hard out there, so we had to do what we had to do.
I will pass this witness, Judge, and I'm not going to call any further witnesses.
Okay, sir, this is
I-
Judge Durst. I'm trying to understand your logic of wanting to not do what the state authorities have set it for standard visitation. Is that standard visitation explained to you?
I am aware of the every other holiday, every other weekend formality, sir.
Yeah, the first, third, and fifth Fridays of each month. And then to that following Sunday evening is the way the state has set it up to provide each parent to have a week, weekends with the children and then weekends away from the children.
I don't request to be away from my children. I love them.
Well, but the state has set this schedule up, sir. Can I repeat myself again? I didn't do this myself. The state of Texas, through the family law people and the authorities out there, set this up. And you're making me tell you that that's what I've got to do. You can vary it by agreement, but I've got to order that.
Yes, sir. I don't disagree with the state of Texas. I just wanted to negotiate. I'm doing this on my free will. I was not forced to come talk to you, Judge. I requested to talk to you, sir. I am not being forced by any means. I just wanted to discuss the amount of drive time. I'm killing my vehicles and I'm maxing out any extra money I have driving back and forth. And just I'm not looking to get out of child support or anything. I realize these children are more valuable than any jewels or gold or rubies. And I have no problem giving anything that I have. But in order to be able to be functional and to have a home to bring them home to, sir, I was just looking for a little slight comfort in the pay.
Do you work on Saturdays, sir?
That is correct.
That's what I deduced that from listening to what's going on here and where you work. So you can't really go pick up the children on Friday night, I take it. Is that right?
Yeah, if I stop going on Saturdays, they'll just find somebody else that will. That's the way the world works.
Okay, if you just listen to my question, try. So can you pick up your children on Fridays nights, first, third, and fifth Fridays, and leave them with someone that's competent on Saturdays?
My wife sometimes has to work on Saturdays, but it could be arranged to where she's able to watch Mike and Mariah until I get home from work.
Well, that
is definitely possible.
it occurs to the court that would cut your drive time in half by cutting the number of trips in half.
That's correct. And it would also cut my heart in half. And I don't expect y'all to be understanding. It's not, this is y'all's job, but this is my life, my kids. So I'm just trying to stand up and be able to see them, sir. And I don't expect to get anything out of you or anybody else. So just wanted to see if there could be a slight reduction on how far I drive. There still has not been any discussion about the drive.
So are you asking the court to order the mother to deliver your children to you at some location?
Well, that would be nice, but that in a perfect world, that would be what I'm asking. But I'm already having to go all the way there and go get them every time. She has not once been to the house to even see the condition on how the children are living, much less be willing to meet me if she's not already in town.
Explain that statement to me, sir. So number one, who is she? You said she hasn't been there. Who is she?
The mother, Brittany Matthews, has never been here to pick up the children nor drop them off.
Where is he?
I live in Chambers, which is an hour and 43 minutes away one way from where she lives.
You chose to live in Chambers County, right?
That's correct. But she also chose to live in Polk County.
Oh, property her father owns is what you testified to, right?
That's correct.
As far as the visitation, I just would like a whole weekend with my children is the only reason why I'm bringing that up. I'm not trying to keep Daniel from seeing the children. I just would like to be able to plan a weekend with my children is all.
And that's why the state's done it. The orders that they have for both parties to have time with their children. And it cuts the drive time in half. And then there's an additional visitation that's provided in the state versions. If you want to use that, is it the Thursday visitations?
Yes, that's optional, but then it's the splitting of the holidays and the sharing of spring break and the extra month during the summer. There's a number of provisions for larger swaths of time.
Sir, have you read the proposed visitation from the state?
I am very familiar with the procedure of parents having to share time with the children.
And it provides that you've got to have basically one parent has weekends and then the other parent has the next weekends, right?
That's correct.
And you want me to change that? That's what I'm hearing.
No, sir. I'm not asking you to change anything other than the amount that I have to pay a month because I'm doing all the driving, sir. That is all this is about.
Okay.
And during
tell me what you want then. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but if you now we're getting down to what do you want the court to do here?
So currently right now they during the negotiating meeting, which was not a negotiating, it was just a statement of how much I was supposed to pay. It was 800 and something. It was 700 plus the additional 100 and something for the healthcare. And oh, okay. You want me to stop talking?
Judge, if I may, just to clarify, in the proposed order, the child support was $850 a month and the medical support was $100 a month. Based on what he stated today, I recalculated it and it's a little bit lower. It would be $834 a month for child support and $100 for medical support. Just want to put out there what the numbers are according to guidelines. And that was based on his testimony of a $49,000 salary and the two children.
Which would bring it to a total of?
That would, the state guidelines is calculated here. It would be a total of $934 a month, child and medical.
Great.
I just wanted you to know what the number is so we know what we're talking about.
What's happening is that a man, not a good man, because no one's good but God, what you're doing is forcing me to have to go work somewhere else because I won't be able to afford that and still have a roof over my head. This is not easy.
Well, this is 25% of your net resources. That was set by the Supreme Court of Texas back in the 1980s to have a guideline amount, and that is mandatory, as I understand the family code, on the initial setting of these guidelines. That amount is a mandatory amount of 25%. It's not just you, it's every divorced father, basically, or separated father.
And out of percentage, I know this is a little off base, but how many of those fathers ain't able to keep up with that payment and then get penalized by being put in prison because they don't have a piece of paper with a president's face on it?
I don't know that answer, sir.
I'm willing to go down on the child support payment. I just know that the $350 that I've been getting a month lately is not enough. So
Yeah,
that's why we're here,
Okay,
because
so
I
Miss-
I will let you two negotiate.
I asked
figure
you
that you believe.
that you couldn't help me and that the kids could just come live with you. So that's why we're here today in child support court. Because I tried to talk to you, Daniel. And
you don't
didn't.
talk to me. You're doing what you're doing now. You're just barking.
She says she wants more than the $350 that's been paid. What?
I understand that, but I wasn't legally told, or I was doing this on my own will, picking
Sir,
up the
what
kids
figure
every weekend.
are you willing to offer to pay just child support? Right now, it's $834 on state guidelines. The parties can agree to.
Plus an extra 100, which is 900 and something. That's 900 something a month, right?
That
I have no
covers the
problem paying the
medical
healthcare.
insurance. That goes to the state, does not go to her.
Correct. I have no problem with paying the medical, sir.
So what
I
do you
understand.
have? What do you suppose you might pay to the mother?
If it was total somewhere around 700, I would submit to that.
Ms. Matthews, the state is always going to ask for guidelines. You are free to tell the judge that you're willing to take a different amount based on the individual circumstances here, but that is entirely your choice and there's no pressure to do that.
I understand. So that would give me about 600 a month, I guess. Because it's what, 100 that he's paying for the Medicaid, or?
Right now, the state, the guidelines is calculated would be $834 a month in child support. We can just kind of ignore the other $100 because you don't see that as far as your conversation.
Right, but Daniel just said that he was willing to pay 700 max, right? So that would only leave me with 600, or?
That's the correct, if the judge approved that.
If based on what he said, but this is you telling the court what you want. You do not have to agree with Mr. Castillo. It's what we're trying to make clear to you. You can tell the judge what you want.
I would feel that it's appropriate for at least 600 a month. Did you hear me?
I'm here. I didn't hear
Yes,
what
we heard.
Yes.
I was saying that 600 a month would be good for me. I can make do with that.
For your child support.
Yes.
Now, no one's forcing you to do that. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And that would be for the weekend visitation that's put forth by the state. It's every other weekend, the first, third, and fifth Fridays of each month. If he doesn't pick them up till Saturday night, Saturday evening, that's up to him.
Okay. That's fine. Yes.
But you would have full weekends, the second and fourth weekends.
That's good. Thank you. Yes, that will work for me.
The court would be, okay, I'm going to stay out of it if you want to do that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
So am I hearing that there's an agreement of the parties to deviate from guidelines based on the travel expenses for $600 a month in child support and then the 100 in medical.
That's what I heard.
Ms. Matthews, is that what I heard from you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Castillo, is that what I'm hearing from you?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I want to point out that that was one of the reasons to deviate from guidelines.
Yes.
Was extra travel expenses.
Yes. The other matters, I believe, are pretty much the same as in the CSRP order as proposed, Judge. Joint managed conservatorship, primary to the mother, standard possession.
Yes.
Okay. And the proposed date to start the new support was March 1st, and that's unchanged. And the children are on government insurance.
Yes.
I believe that's all I need. Judge, is that the order of the court as I've just stated?
Yes.
Summarized? Okay. All right.
We've got it on record, and that'll be the order of the court. So you'll submit an order to me.
I will, and you'll each receive a copy of it. Okay. Thank y'all for calling in today and participating. It is always good when parties can come to some sort of mediated
Yeah, I don't hate
agreement.
Brittany. I don't hate her at all. She just didn't understand how much I'm paying myself. I understand she's paying a lot too, but.
Well, thank you for agreeing with her, sir. And we'll provide the orders to everybody. Okay.
Thank you and God bless
Thank you very much. I'll stop the recording.
Thank you both.
Judge, I am ready for a hearing on the Waldowski matter when you're available.
I am here and available. Say again the name.
Waldowski.
Okay. All right. I'll go with that. That's close. Waldowski, is that the one?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the way I'd pronounce it, but what do I know? I'm from East Texas. Okay.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm beginning the recording on the Angelina County docket on the date of February 27, 2023. The Waldowski and Gillespie matter is cause number CV-00870-21-03. All parties and witnesses in that case, can you please raise your right hands for me? Do you and each of you swear that the testimony that you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You so swear? Yes.
I do.
And you can put your hands down now. The state may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Mrs. Rachel Lewis. Ms. Lewis, will you state your full name for the record, please?
Rachel Gillespie Lewis.
And what is the name of the child before the court?
Trevor Lee Waldowski.
And when was Trevor born?
Trevor was born January the 5th of 2004.
Okay, so she is already 18 years old. Is that correct?
She is.
Has she graduated from high school?
She has.
Okay, so we do have establishment order before the court, Your Honor, because the child before the court has legally emancipated. We will not be moving forward on conservatorship, visitation, current child support, or current medical support. We'll just be moving forward to establish the father and a retroactive support judgment today.
I understand.
Okay. Ms. Rachel, what is the name of Trevor's father?
James William Waldowski II.
Were you and him ever married?
No, we were not.
Is there any chance anyone other than Mr. James could be Trevor's father?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Has he been semi-active in her life as she's grown up?
Yes.
He's never denied her. He's treated her like a daughter.
No,
Is that correct?
no. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. So she has turned 18. We're going to skip the conservatorship visitation, all that we discussed. But we do want to get that retroactive child support today. Let me back up just a second. When did Trevor graduate from high school?
She graduated in May of 2022.
Okay. So from May of 2018 to May of 2022, did Mr. Waldowski provide any direct support for Trevor's care?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did he? It was from May of 2018 to May of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did he provide?
Approximately $6,250.
Okay. And that was from after she graduated, or excuse me, from May of 2018 until she graduated in May of 22. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. During that 4-year window, do you know if Mr. Waldowski was ever employed?
Well, he had to pay if he paid $6,000 in child support.
Do you know where he was working?
I do not know. No, ma'am, I do not.
Do you know how much he was making?
No, ma'am, I do not. I know that I have, no, ma'am, I do not.
Does he have any other children?
Yes, ma'am, he has 2 older than Trevor.
They're both older than her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were they both over the age of 18 in 2018 to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am, they were both.
Okay.
Well over. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you know he was able to work and was working, but we're not sure how much he was making during that 4-year period.
That is correct.
Okay. So it is safe to assume he was making at least minimum wage during that time, and he had no other children.
Yes, ma'am.
He provided $6,250 in total and direct support.
That's correct.
Okay. So Your Honor, based off of a minimum wage calculation, we are showing that the full amount of retroactive support for 48 months would have been $11,040, giving him credit for $6,250 in direct support would leave a retroactive child support judgment of $4,790.
Your math seems to be correct. Okay. You want a judgment for that amount of how much?
$4,790. We would ask for that to be repaid at $75 a month starting March 1st, 2023. And I do have just a couple more questions for Ms. Rachel. Ms. Rachel, we did ask for a non-disclosure in this case to not have your personal information like your address and phone number in the order. Do you have safety concerns with someone out there knowing where you live?
I do, but my daughter lives with me
So
while
you're,
she's going to college. So, I mean, you know, the more I think about, I mean, she is here with me. So
is it Mr. Waldowski, the one that you're concerned about?
I just, yes, ma'am, I just don't want any contact with him. And I just want him to do what he's supposed to do. And, you know, but I realize that Trevor's 18 and that we're a little late.
Has he been physically violent with you?
Before today?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time?
Oh, it was when she was a baby.
Okay.
You know, it was when she was a baby.
Is he emotionally or mentally violent with you? Just say bad things
No, ma'am.
that upset
No,
you?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Can you tell the court why you're wanting Mr. Waldowski not to have your address?
Well, he knows where I live. So that's kind of, you know, that he knows where I'm at. I've been here since 1977. So, I mean, he knows where I live, but.
So what's your answer to her question? Do you not want the address in this paperwork?
Oh.
That's the question.
Okay, I'm sorry, Judge. I didn't understand. There's no reason to go. I mean, there's no reason not. I'm sorry. I'm very confused.
Just relax.
I don't. He knows where I live, and,
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not going to be moving anytime soon. So, I mean, I just didn't want any contact with him, but I understand that's a different issue.
We're not going to order any visitation.
Yes, sir.
For him to come to your house. That's not going to happen, right, Ms. Wright?
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, then what is the correct answer here? I mean, he knows where I live already. So just remove it from
Let me explain, because here's the deal. If they would hold your address from the order, they have to explain why. And when to explain why, they don't have any reason of any violence or direct contact for the last 15 or 18 years is what I've heard. Those are the facts. So on a legal basis, I'd be hard pressed to withhold the address
Okay.
from the
yes, sir.
order.
Very well.
Anything else
sir.
you want to
Thank
add to what I explained, Ms. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to add anything more?
No, you explained very well, Judge.
Okay. So we want you to be safe. Do you go by Lewis or Gillespie, ma'am?
Lewis.
Well, Lewis is the last name.
That's the way my income taxes are done. Yes, sir.
And again, what is Trevor's name?
Waldowski.
Okay. So she has the name of her father.
Yes, she does.
Okay. Anything else we can do to help you?
No, sir. You've been very helpful today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anything further, Ms. Wright?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, that's the right one.
Here she comes.
Hello, Miss Lennox. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi there. My name's Allison Fussell. I'm an attorney with the OAG's office. Thank you for calling in this morning. Believe we're going to be able to get you out of here pretty quick. I hope you were sent a copy of these. I believe you were. The DNA results that have been
Yes, ma'am.
taken so far in your case, and those were DNA results with Mr. Cox.
Yes, ma'am.
And it shows that Mr. Cox is not the father, which I think that was as expected. All we're going to do today is the judge has seen those DNA test results, and he's going to sign an order just saying Mr. Cox is not the father, and Mr. Cox is no longer going to be involved in this proceeding. Okay.
Okay.
What we're waiting on is for Mr. Marshall to finish his DNA testing.
I just found out from his ex-wife that he is actually in jail.
Hey, who?
Mr. Marshall?
Mr. Marshall's in jail.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Where is Mr. Cox, if you know?
I'm not sure. He's in prison, I think.
Okay.
He's what? I'm sorry.
What jail is Mr. Marshall in, if you know?
Liberty County.
Okay. We will redirect the DNA testing there, because the current testing that's set up in a couple of days is not set up through the jail. So it stands to reason he's not going to appear for it. So
no,
we will reschedule that through the jail. Sometimes it takes a little longer through the jails, but generally once we know they're there, we can get it done. I mean, they're in one place. So we will proceed with trying to get that DNA testing done on Mr. Marshall. All we're going to do today is exclude Mr. Lennox. I'm sorry. Do the exclusion on Mr. Cox. I'm going to get it right. And you're Miss Lennox. And that's it today. And we'll have to come back another day with those results.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. Lennox. Does the child have any relationship with Mr. Cox at all?
No.
I didn't think so.
He went to prison. Yeah, he went to prison way before I even got pregnant.
Okay. Okay.
And she doesn't really have a relationship with Thomas Marshall either. He's not allowed. I don't allow him around us.
Right. Okay. You're taking care of the child, and that's good. Thank you. So she can be released, right?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. You can be released and go back your business today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is a Walker County case. What's the number is on the docket?
Number 1.
I show that as Young and Booker. Is that correct?
No, sir. This should be Steve.
No, it's 24. One is Calderon and Barrow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so last name is Barrow. That's what got me. Very well. I'll start a recording if you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll start recording on this Walker County docket on the date of February 15th, 2023. Calderon and Barrow is the case. It's cause numbers F2319190. Parties and witnesses thereto, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You swear testimony that you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, so help you God. Thank you.
Yes.
Put your hands down now. The state may proceed.
Your Honor, Margie Painter with the Attorney General's office. We're here really just to establish the amount of child support. The parties are currently married.
Okay.
They are separated and have made agreements toward a standard possession order. But I'm going to call as my first witness Dara Barrow. Can you state your full name for the record?
It's Dara Ann Harvey Barrow.
And what county do you live in?
Walker.
And what county do the two children live in?
Walker and Montgomery.
And have you and the children lived in Walker County for at least 90 days before the suit was filed?
Yes, ma'am.
And do the children live with you?
They live with both. We have
Okay.
shared.
Okay.
How old are their ages?
5 and 9.
Okay, thank you.
And can you please state their names and their date of birth?
It's Ethan J. Calderon and Naomi Rose Calderon. Ethan is 10/18/2013 and Naomi is 8/26/2017.
And for Ethan, did you and Mr. Calderon sign an acknowledgement of paternity?
Meaning what?
When he was born, did you guys sign or did you and Mr. Calderon sign an acknowledgement of paternity at the hospital, acknowledging that Mr. Calderon was the father?
Yes, he's on the birth certificate for both.
Okay.
He's the father of both.
And then Naomi was born during your marriage. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you and Mr. Calderon live together after Ethan was born?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you live together when Naomi was born?
Yes.
And when did you separate for the last time?
December 2019.
Okay. And does Mr. Calderon provide support, like money, clothes, for you and your children? Okay.
Yes.
And are you asking the court for standard visitation and standard possession between you and Mr. Calderon?
No. We have a good system that works. We share custody. We agree on money amounts monthly and all that, or if I need help with anything extra, he helps me out that way as well.
Okay. And are you asking the court to set child support at 0?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that because you and Mr. Calderon share expenses and possession of the children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're not asking for any type of retro child support from Mr. Calderon?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. I want to ask a question. What town do you live in?
New Waverly.
Okay, that's in Walker County. And where are the children today?
They are at school. It's my day, so I will pick them up when I get off of work.
Okay, where's the school that they attend?
I left them in the Woodlands in Conroe at that school district with Steve, so they go in Conroe.
In Conroe, yes, Steve.
So I just drive them, and I drive them every day to drop them off, and then when they go to the bus at his house, and he gets them off the bus, and then I pick him up when I'm off of work.
When you say him, who are you talking about?
Steve, their dad.
I know. Okay, but both children go to school here in Conroe. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
like the 9-year-olds, what, like third or fourth grade?
He's in third grade. Yes, sir.
Third grade. And then what about the 5-year-olds? They pre-K or
Kindergarten.
kindergarten? But they go here to Conroe. So
Yes,
how'd
sir.
they get to school this morning?
So on their dad's days, they ride the bus. We just wake up early and I bring them either to school or I take them to Steve's house to get on the bus. I felt that that was a better school district there than New Waverly, so I kept
Okay.
them at that district.
Okay, so you're going to pick them up and take them back to your house in New Waverly this evening?
I do, yes, sir.
So when's the last time they spent the night at father's house?
Last night. He has Mondays and Tuesdays.
Okay, so tell me how he's got Mondays and Tuesdays?
Yes, sir. And I have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then he has every other weekend.
Okay. And how's that working for the two of you?
Good.
Okay. Are you employed outside the home?
I am, yes, sir.
Okay. Where is your job located?
It's in the Woodlands.
Okay, you live in New Waverly. The children go to school in Conroe, and your job is in the Woodlands. Am I hearing that right?
Yes, I do. I make the drive. I got used to everything being in Conroe in the Woodlands. So the house that I'm at now, it came available when I needed it. So it's a little bit of a drive, but I just have everything going on down here towards Conroe in the Woodlands.
And I'm not happy about not having you get child support. Okay, why are you not asking at least the court minimum child support, $200 a month at least, or something like that? Do you make that much money?
I don't. I think that me and Steve have just stayed friends and we've been able to agree upon an amount. And also if he's given me, the amount that we agreed on, or he's given me some money and, a bill is due or a few bills are due and I don't have it, he helps me that way too. So I haven't felt like I needed help with the court to get money from him because we have a pretty good relationship with that.
For now you do. That's great.
Yeah.
Usually other people come involved in that, I know. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't help. I'll put it that way. That's why the state has got basically a law that says we're supposed to get child support for these children. And you can utilize the money any way you want to. The state doesn't tell you how to spend the money, but the idea is that the father, if he doesn't have full custody of the children, pays the mother child support as set forth by the state, which is for 2 children, is 25% of net resources. And the Supreme Court has ordered us to do that. Okay. And do you think the 2 Monday and Tuesday nights with the father is sufficient time to wipe out that state order?
I don't think to wipe it out, but I would say that the time he does have, I don't see anything that they're lacking or anything that, they need more of, or like I said, if I have them and we need something in the past, all I've had to do is reach out. So I'm not saying to, that doesn't apply to me necessarily. I just, I get that why it's there and everything. And I do understand it all, you know. I think I've just thought about it differently since we are able to agree.
Right. Anything else you want to tell me? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You may continue.
Your Honor, I did have a follow-up question for Ms. Barrow. Ms. Barrow, how are the children covered covered for medical and dental?
Medicaid.
Okay.
I didn't have at this new place I haven't had insurance offered yet, but my last job it didn't offer insurance.
I passed the witness, Your Honor, and I would like to call Steve Calderon.
Proceed.
Mr. Calderon, can you state your name for the record?
Steve Calderon.
And what county do you live in?
Montgomery County now.
And are you in agreement with the testimony that Ms. Barrow provided regarding the agreements that you have regarding the care and cost of expenses, sharing the expenses of the children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that you would like the court to know that hasn't been addressed today?
I will. Well, I'd just like to say that I do definitely, you know, try to help, try to provide for the kids, and it's not just only on Mondays and Tuesdays. I mean, we do have pretty much an equal schedule, and I do also take the kids over there too, because I know it is a bit of a drive. But you know, and conveniently, she has a job over here that kind of like she can pick them up on her way home. And unfortunately, I'm unemployed right now. But yes, just wanted to clear that out. And I do try to help out. Maybe not as much as I say as I need to do more, but I definitely need to do more. But I do try to help her as much as I can at this point.
I don't have any further questions for Mr. Calderon, Your Honor.
This, Mr. Calderon, this is Judge Durst asking you some questions. Or you said you're not employed at the present time?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long has it been since you were employed? When were you last employed?
I was employed, I would say in July of last year. Yes. I've been doing. I'm starting to grow my handyman company, and I do those jobs there, and I do still apply, but I have been having trouble finding work.
What kind of work did you do for the job that you lost?
I was orthopedic technician that would put cast on people with broken limbs.
Okay, you put cast,
yes, sir,
on people. Was that with a medical group?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A Methodist.
And where was that located? That job located?
Oh, it was here in Conroe, the Woodlands area.
What training did you have for that kind of job?
It's just an associate program in Lone Star.
Lone Star College.
Yes, sir.
Did you actually put cast on people's broken limbs?
Yes, sir. I enjoyed it too.
Oh. Was it under a medical profession's supervision?
Yes, sir. Under the doctor's supervision. Yes, sir.
And how long had you been doing that?
I have been doing that for many years. But then I also had worked with this gentleman and his company doing repairs and home repairs. This is where I learned to do all this stuff, like you know, all these drywall works and repairs and renovations, and that is what I'm trying to branch off as on my own now.
When's the last time you had a job doing renovations?
And I haven't during the week every so, like for example, tomorrow I have a small job to do.
Have you ever had any, besides the casting jobs, have you ever had other full-time work?
Yes, sir. But, well, it had mainly been that for years that I worked doing that, you know, a regular 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I had, well, before that, of course, I worked, you know, just small jobs like receptionist or sales and stuff like that.
Are you collecting unemployment at the present time?
I'm sorry, sir?
Are you collecting unemployment wages?
No, sir, I'm not.
So how long has it been since you collected the full-time pay? Was it last July?
But the full-time check paid, yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
It's that time. And where were you living then? What county?
It was here in this county, Your Honor,
Montgomery.
Montgomery County.
You have these two children. Do you have any other children?
No, Your Honor.
And you're still married to
Yes, sir.
Darren, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And with whom do you live?
I live with my mother here in this house, in Conroe, well, the Woodlands area, yes.
Okay. Have the children stayed there with you and your mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
When's the last time they stayed there?
Last night, Your Honor.
Okay. How'd they get to your house?
Well, let's say on a regular day, let's say on a Monday, they're here, they go to the bus and they come back, they stay here. And then on Wednesday, when it's Dara's day, if she's, for example, now that she works in the Woodlands, you know, she will pick them up on her way home, you know, and then and in the morning she will drop them off for school on her way to work. And then, you know, when they get from school, I would have them, but since it's her day, you know, she will pick them up and take them with her. And then until the next week, we're, you know, pretty much, and then we switch every other weekend.
Does your mother that you live with, does she work outside the home?
She has a part-time job. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Does she help you with the children?
She helps them. Yes, Your Honor.
Why do you think you should not be ordered to pay regular court-ordered child support for two children, which is about $270 a month, based on minimum wage?
Well, Your Honor, I do help out with, you know, with the money. I guess my problem, I guess my objection would be having the court, you know, be involved if in case, let's say, for example, this month I cannot, and then the court being involved, and then I'm just so afraid to go to jail, honestly, and then having to get to court. Well, me and Dara honestly do get along well, and then we never had arguments where she's like, hey, you know, I need you to pay me, you haven't paid me, or any arguments. We do get along well, and I don't see maybe why we should involve or bother the court when.
Do you think when's the last time that you applied to get a job?
I would say it was about 2 weeks and a half to 3.
Have you signed up with the Texas Workforce Commission to see what jobs they could help you get?
I had signed up, sir. Yes, that was a July. I signed up with them, and then I haven't been following up with them. I have just applied to jobs that I hear people are opening, since in the openings they say, hey, you know, somebody's hiring over here. Well, in the meantime, I do my handyman jobs, and thankfully, I mean, thank God, it's been growing, and I'm getting busier little by little.
Do you have any equipment to do this handyman job?
Equipment?
Yeah.
Your Honor? Yes, Your Honor. Well, yeah, I'm saving to hopefully get a truck, but I have all the tools that I need to do.
You hope to, I'm sorry. You hope to get a truck?
Yes, for it would make it easier, you know,
right,
instead of putting things on my small car. But I'm able to get along with that.
Do you think the obligation being put on you by the state to pay regular child support through the system, what would the number be, Margie? Would it be $270 a month for 2 children?
Let me see hold on one second, Your Honor.
You should know that. We should all know that.
I believe you said 275. It was the minimum, and plus $60 for the Medicare, I believe.
Yes, we would ask for the $60 on
Insurance.
the monthly, yes. And yes, sir, Your Honor, it is $270 for the
270.
child support, and then the $60 for cash medical support is what we would ask. We would ask for the cash medical support being $60. But if it was for 2 children, minimum wage, it would be $270.
I realize that would be a new obligation on you, Mr. Calderon, but do you think that would help encourage you to get full-time work that's available?
Well, Your Honor, the reason also why it's kind of hard for me to find work is it's not because of like a trying, it's because of a past record. And
you've been in prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
And
what
that's
you
why
been in prison for, if I ask?
it's as an online solicitation charge.
Of a minor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you spend time in prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I see the mother's nodding her head over there. When did you get out of prison, sir?
It was 2017. 18.
Yeah.
2017.
2017?
Or 18.
I was 18.
18.
So it's been 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes, Your Honor. I was able to find work, like I said, working at the hospital and stuff like that. But once they would find, I guess somebody would call randomly and tell them, hey, you know, this guy has a charge, and then they would fire me. That's happened twice. And that's what's led me to kind of do my own thing and try to start my own business.
Right. Did you try to get some kind of construction work or oil field work? Well, they don't care so much about that.
I would love that. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you have or have not tried?
I usually from what I hear from those places, I apply it. I hear nothing. Most of the time people say, you know, it's connections, is who you know. But yes, a job like that, I would definitely, I'm going to keep trying to try to get those. I heard the oil field jobs are very good. Hard work, but very good.
Have you ever tried one? A job like that?
With the oil field? No. With construction, yes, I have.
Anything else you want to add, sir?
No, I don't think so. No, Your Honor, not at the moment.
You're living at home with your mother right now, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. And I do also pay for the bills over here. It's not as if I'm living free either. Like I say, I would like to state that too. Because my mom wouldn't be able to afford this house, you know, in her part-time salary or her.
Well, that's what I'm hearing. You're helping your mom more than you are the mother of your children, is what I'm hearing in this case. Is that a fair statement?
I guess you could say that, yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
That's where your emphasis is.
Well, I mean, we're providing a stable home for the kids that stay here half the time. Yes, Your Honor.
How long were you married to the mother of these children?
Ever since 2017 on Father's Day.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell me, Mr. Calderon?
Nothing that comes to mind, Your Honor.
Okay. Having heard this information, Ms. Barrow, do you want to add anything?
No.
I take it you don't use his last name, is that correct?
No, sir. I never got it changed.
He never chose to change it, right?
No, sir.
How's
Well,
this?
yes, sir. I never chose.
How's this working out with you switching the children back and forth like this?
For them, it's good. I did it because I felt like one day a week was not enough for them to see their father. They're very happy, very healthy kids. They love me and their dad very much. We both do a lot of things with them back and forth. So, for them, it's not hard on them. They don't complain about it. Like I said, they're very happy and healthy, and they know that we love them and that we're happy, and they're okay.
If the father happened to find a really good paying job, would you want child support to be started?
Yes.
I would like that too. Yes, Your Honor. Would be fair.
So it's really a convenience for him to not have a child support obligation at this situation, right?
Yes, sir.
Anything? Okay, Ms. Painter, anything you want to add?
No, Your Honor, we were just going to ask that you, they agreed to joint managing conservatorship, and they agreed to set the cash medical at $60, and that they were asking you to set the child support, or to approve the child support to be set to $0.
Okay, I want to agree to all of that, and the medical is $60 a month for these two children on Medicaid. I'm
Yes,
going to withhold my decision on whether he's ordered to pay child support or not, and think about it. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so
I'll let you know. Okay.
yes, Your Honor.
Myself or Kelly. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to get a reset date, Judge, or just to?
I was hoping to decide today.
Okay.
How many more cases do we have here today in Walker County?
I have a default, and then I think there's one that Kim's still working on, but I don't know if it's agreed or not.
Okay. This one's completed. Good luck to both of your parents, okay? Raising your children. Thank you. I'll stop the recording because they don't run together.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.